Hello, welcome everyone. Happy Friday, wherever you are. If it's your morning, your afternoon, or your evening, it's Coach K. We're going to talk today about the charts and if we are going to see alt season, if we're going to see Bitcoin pump over the weekend, and what might actually happen, which alts I have on my watch list for you to potentially look out for, and everything else. So, without further ado, what I'd love for you guys to do is jump on in here, click on that subscribe, like, and share button so we can get started real quick, and let's get it done. If you're here watching on YouTube or on Facebook, do pop in and say hello. It's always nice to see you guys. Comment. I'm just going to open that chat up right now so I can see all you guys. Good morning, David. Nice to see you over here. And who else is watching here? Eric Springers. Who we got here? Eric, Brian, nice to see you. Leroy, nice to see you. Anyone else who's watching, guys, as you pop in, just come on and say hello. It's great to have you all here. There's the link to the YouTube channel so that you can win our weekly prize for a month of Athena. Last person who won did not actually come and claim their prize, so we'll start this all over again. And on Monday, I will do, for commenting on this video and any other video that I made this week, I will do another draw for someone else to win. So good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a great day today. Let's jump into the charts and talk about what's happening. What's up, Rolf? Nice to see you there. Over there, I see you. And let's do it. So, first thing I want to talk about is Bitcoin. And this is a very important one to look at as always. I did draw this about 4 days ago before we even had any of the, head and shoulders play out. I said we're probably going to have it. We were at around 10,300, I believe, at that time. We were sitting around here, and I thought, it might go to, this head and shoulders might play out to what I had on my chart to 8,800. It still very well might, but I'm going to show you guys some really interesting stuff about really how support and resistance work and why it is so effective to use support and resistance when you're trading. Now, looking over here, I'm just going to give you guys a couple really cool things. First thing I'm going to give you today is my prediction on where Bitcoin will go. Then we're going to flow into all the coins that I'm actually watching right now and why I'm watching and what I'm watching for. That's really interesting for you because it might give you something that you learn to look for yourself and be beneficial to your trading. So I hope that actually helps you guys out. It's nice to see you, Richard. I see you over there as well. And let's jump into it. If you're not watching on YouTube, guys, do throw on that so you can win a month of Athena for free. And make some comments on the video. That's all you really guys got to do. Okay, here's what we saw, right? And this is why these two zones exist. I'll make this one a little bit nicer to see. Right now I'm having a alert go off. So here's what happens when you make alerts. Nulls is one of the ones I've been looking at, and boy, oh boy, if it breaks this and closes in 1 hour and 10 minutes in this area as a bullish engulfing candle, we have the Chiku span, which is just above the candles, which is making it bullish. We have, obviously, if it crosses in this area, and as you see, I've set up a 4.5R trade for a really very profitable trade for nulls. It also has nulls 2.0 coming out as well. So lots of really bullish things that are happening. Now let's jump back over to Bitcoin and see what's going on with that. And my 5 minutes algo bot there. Okay, let's look at this. All right. So what we saw is this is what I like it. Some people call it liquidity, I call it support resistance, whatever you want to call it, it's that. Oh, nice to see you, Neil. How you doing, brother? All right. Every time we jump into these zones, what you'll see is we jump out. So we jumped into this zone. Wow, I'm getting a lot of alerts on my coins right now that are popping off. So if you hear any weird background noises, that's my alerts on TradingView that are going off. I'm going to turn that down so you guys don't hear them because it's kind of annoying, and I understand that. But those alerts are for me to be like, hey, you have some stuff going on. You can see right here, ETH is telling me to go long. I just had a bunch of alerts happen all at the same time. So we'll look at all those in a second. Let's look at Bitcoin first. We see that it comes into this zone, and then it rejects those zones. It rejected this one, popped up. It rejected this one, popped up. So this is my buy zone for longs. This is my short zone for shorts. So if you shorted in this zone when it came underneath and up, you would have gotten down to here. When it got into this zone, had you gone long, whether it be long at this level at the fractal or lower, doesn't really matter. You would have waited and gone up back into this zone. You would have sold short again, and then you would have hit that today as well. And so that's what you're going to do. And we might just pop back up and try this zone again over the weekend. And we might go up and down, which would make this a ranging market. And we're going side to side. But don't give away that if we keep touching the bottom of this area right here, we very likely can go down to that 8,800. So it's something also to take note of. And as I've shown you guys on the weekly Kijun, and I'll just finish with Bitcoin in a second here, but on our weekly Kijun, we do still have it sitting right there where that arrow is at 85, 8,600. So these are things that you have to look for. We could also touch the where you see this line right here, this line of support. It's right smack on the Tenkin. Okay, so it could also come there because we have support as well as support from the Tenkin, so it's doubled up on the weekly. We'll be looking in between those zones to put buy orders. If we do go lower, how low will we go? That's a great question. A lot of people have asked me recently. And so let me show you how low we could go on the weekly. So we get on here. We go on a fib retracement. We look at the very bottom. So at that 3,100 area where we were, we're going to click on that. And we're going to bring this all the way to the top of our movement. What we'll see is that 50% retrace is sitting somewhere right around R, and this is something you'll learn very quickly, that the Kijun acts as a 50% retrace area. So we have two areas, whether it be 85.60, or we can have that at 8,800. So in this area is where you'd be looking to buy. So if I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, right? This isn't financial advice, guys, so don't take it that way, but this is what I would be doing, and if I'm looking for it, I'm having a lot of alerts go off. It should be fun for you guys in a minute to see that. All right. We get this green zone, and we're going to call that a buy zone, so I'm going to say buy here. So I'm going to set orders scaled into this area. So anywhere between 87, 8,800 all the way down to 85, I'd be putting some buy orders in that zone right there. But also looking at our 4 hour, we go up here and we check it out. We also know that we have the other zones that we can buy and sell in if it keeps bouncing and ranging. So it could range in here, we could buy and sell and buy and sell. Or we get down to this area right here and we have our buy area over there that we scale into. These are two areas to look for. Satisfying, it's nice to see you over there. Stephen, good morning. Hope you're having a great day. Richard, I loved your biography yesterday. Keep up the awesome work. Hey man, if you guys haven't read that, I basically wrote a whole, basically my whole entire, like, crypto journey so far of becoming a teacher and all the way. And it's really detailed. It is like a 15, 20 pager, but there's pictures in there and stuff. But the whole idea of that was to kind of give you guys the idea of what we go through as entrepreneurs. So having an entrepreneurial mindset, you know, going through the hard times and the good. Also, like, what the great parts about working in crypto industry are and all that. So if you haven't read it, do give it a read. I will throw it in the description of this video. So after you guys are done, you can click on that Medium article and give it a shot. I hope that you guys will enjoy it and find some inspiring pieces in there. And let's continue on with the charts. Okay, here we go. This is what you're looking for Bitcoin on the weekend. We might bounce from this zone again. We had this tweezer bottoms over here, and we're starting to move back up. So we could probably do something like this. This is my prediction for the weekend, that we come up, test this zone again, and very likely drop again into this zone, and very likely, potentially, if the weekend continues like that, doing one of these kinds of ranging type of deals, which we've been doing already. And we could do that for a little bit, and I would like that to happen, to be honest, because that's how alt season is going to start. We want to see alt season, we want to see some alts have recovery. This is the absolute way to do it. This chart is nasty. Well, I'm sorry that you don't like it. But basically, this has been working very well for me, and anyone that watches my channels has known that they're really helpful. Now, are you saying that Bitcoin is going to not do so well, or you just don't like the colors on it? Because that's okay. I don't mind. Everything works for everyone else, but this is what I am seeing, and this is how we're going to do it. So, let's continue on, everyone. Going to ETH. Oh, well, I'm going to show you guys something. So you see all these alerts that just went off for nulls? Nulls must be breaking out. It is. Look at that. Here we go. So for nulls, this is a great trade setup, guys, if you want to get into something or actually look at something on your own. This is a 19% trade opportunity. We're looking for it to break above this line right here. So basically a bullish engulfing into the cloud. We have a TK cross that's also spreading out, which is a good thing. It's very bullish. And what we also have is nulls 2.0 coming out. So we have we have confluence factors from not only fundamentals, but technicals are showing us the same thing, as well as the Chiku span right here is above the candles, which is bullish, and if it continues up, this will continue up with it. What that means is if this candle closes in 1 hour, this could be a very nice trade. Why? Our risk to reward is about 4.5 to 1, meaning if you literally made these trades and you made 5 of them and only 1 hit, you'd still make profits. This is a really good opportunity in this trade to get it done. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Now, I want to look at ETH before we continue on to other charts. So let's just quickly check out ETH because I did get a signal from that as well. So we're bouncing off. Here's a nice little look here. Let me just close this so you guys don't have too much on the chart. All right, so here we go. We see that we had a bullish, TK cross, but we don't really have. It's really flat, and I don't like trading flat areas, but we are bouncing off that flat area, which has the Kijin and the Tenkin in the same spot. This is quite interesting because both of them are sitting right on top of each other. Now, when this happens, we can either break down or break up. So it's kind of like a no trade zone usually. And I'll show you some examples of that. So when they're at the same level, we either jump down. And when they're at the same level, we can also pop up. So it's really one of those parts where you don't really want to trade it. Here's another good example of that where we touch it, and it breaks down. Sometimes it breaks up. But it's kind of a no trade zone for me personally. You can do whatever you want, of course, but this is something that I would avoid. Now, if ETH does start to go on a move over the weekend and breaks into this cloud and breaks through it, we could see ETH try to get at least to this level where the 200 EMA is at $250, $245 all over again. That would be really interesting, and I would like to see that happen, but that would start alt season as well. So it would be good if ETH does do a move up, especially if it does a move against Bitcoin. So remember, we look at both because it's really important to do so. And against Bitcoin, it's got to move up. We're kind of sideways here. If I see something where we really get a move up back to that 0.23, we're really looking for that 0.25, and I'll show you why. If we look at on the daily here, you'll see why. And I'm sorry that this Ichimoku has so many buy and sells. All those are TK crosses. Here we're at right now, pretty much an all-time low, other than like in early 2016, I believe. And so we're looking for us to kind of get back to that level of 25, which was kind of the last all-time low, and then we break through that area where these two fractals meet. If we break through that and go up into the cloud, that would be a great thing to start to spark an alt season. If you guys have any questions or comments, don't forget, comment on the video. We do have a free month of Athena trading systems that you will get access to, as well as the group, etc., resources, my trading calls, all of that stuff will be in there. So don't forget to comment on this video and join on YouTube, as well as subscribe so that you can win, a free month. Now, moving on to some of the calls that I think are going to do really well. Please do, as your AMA, ask questions about certain coins. I'd love to see some of you guys have some questions about something. It seems like you're quiet, but many of you are watching. All right. Nulls. This is the one I'm watching right now in the 4-hour. It looks like it's about to have this nice recovery. That bullish engulfing is really playing out very nicely, and we're going to see it go. It's going to be a really nice trade if it continues on up. APPC. We've been looking at this one for a while. It's kind of rejected, but then broken above. I'm looking at this one with, two eyes open. The volume starting to come back into it in this last 4-hour candle. So it's starting to move back up, but I'd like to see some push forward. Dry weekend in Crypto Nation. Let's see how we go about the weekend. It should definitely be something that we do. And remember that Bitcoin generally moves on the weekends pretty positively, at least in the last month or two. Something also to keep note of. So RLC did a edge-to-edge. So I want to talk about these edge-to-edge trades so you know how to use them, and also what you should be looking for. So this is a no trade zone, guys. When you see something like this where we have already broken above, this is a no trade zone. We don't go back into this. If we bounce off of this Tenkan Ashi or Kijin, because it will pull back to those areas, if we do bounce off there, we could continue up, but usually I don't trade after we've done a full edge-to-edge movement. So think that, and also you can see that this bullish engulfing tested the bottom of the cloud, which then went up. I was in RLC, I made like 4 or 5% and got out. So that's what's up. Nuno, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Any coins that you guys would like me to review or do analysis on, please do comment in the comment box on YouTube. If you're not on YouTube, look up in the comments on Facebook or on Twitter and jump right in. Okay. Metal's another one I've been looking at. We had this TK cross here. Chiku Span was bullish and we started moving. It looks okay. It looks like it wants to continue on up. It has a little bit legs left in it, and we would see like another 5-8%, but we have that 200 MA, so we'd try to break through this, and then we could see even more continuation up. What I'd look for if we do continue up, we're going to just do this quickly. I like to do it here. We could see that the 618's just right of that area right here, so we might reject the 618. Or if we break through, the 786 looks like a nice good next level, and we would be above the 200 MA, which would tell us that we're bullish. Right now, we're bearish, technically. Okay? I'm going to give you guys some really insider information about TRX in a short little bit, so I'll definitely give you that one. Chris, hi Joe, what about Nano? What do I see evolving? Okay, Nano's a good one because it's had a really nice movement. They just added, they added it to a wallet, I believe, that you can now spend it as fiat. So that's really bullish. Obviously, because if we can spend Nano as you know, fiat, people will use it. Now, it's got a nice uptrend forming, and here's what we're looking for. Okay, this is a really good one. Now, I don't care about the cloud all the time. That's not really that important. But look what we see here. We see a couple things. The first thing is that we had a Kijin breakout. We also had a bullish TK cross. And then, what's the next thing I'm looking for? We have this 200 MA get crossed. Now, generally, I'll show you guys something about the 200 EMA. When you're below the 200 EMA, you are bearish. And when you are above the EMA, you are bullish. So we can see that the trend reverses generally when you're above, and trend changes again when you're below. Here's something to note. We are now above. So what I would expect here is a couple things. So two things that can happen right now. Likely that we turn this either into a flag. So we could see this turn into like a flag, right? Something like this, and then break up further. Or we could test down here. We could come back, test either the Tenkan-sen or the Kijin-sen. Oh, excuse me. Before we go back up, but I would think that the Tenkan more likely than the Kijin, because we would probably bounce as well off of the 200 EMA. So lots of different options and things that can happen there. All right. So Nano does have a bright future right now, as you can see with the chart. The twist, the Kumo twist, is a bright future, so it looks good. It looks good right now, and let's just check from bottom to top where we might go here. So if it does just like bounce, it might bounce in this 236, which is our usual range for bots actually to bounce off of. And we could see that it would try to move into this level right here, the 618 or the 786 Nano. And that all depends on Bitcoin. Remember, Bitcoin is king, and Bitcoin does what it likes to do. Just keep in mind that we can come down here and bounce off to either this level right here at the 50% or the 618. Okay, questions. Do I think Litecoin has some room left in to short run term against Bitcoin? Halving coming up. Not sure how that will affect price. All right. Halving it's a really good question, Jillums, and I'll show you why, okay? When we look at Litecoin, I'm going to show you something I've shown a couple of times before, but you probably are new here, and that's great. I love that you're here. This is something that I generally expected to happen. This is a chart that I drew long ago, and I thought we would get a little higher, but we didn't. But look at what I thought was going to happen. Now, this one kind of didn't really happen. That one just kind of went down. I thought we'd have a little recovery first and then go down a little bit more, but we didn't. And I think usually during the halving, we do come down. We might not get down to $70, but we did already. We might kind of stick in this range right here. And it would not surprise me in the least if we stay range bound between this fractal and this fractal here and stay in this range for a little bit, even after the halving. Now, here's something also to take note of. Alesso was a really great trader. I really love how he's very objective. It's very possible that if Litecoin starts to bull and starts to move up again, starts to get on that really strong uptrend, that couple weeks later, Bitcoin will follow. And that's generally how it works. Bitcoin generally follows, Litecoin will move first and Bitcoin will follow after. So keep note of that we usually see Bitcoin follow Litecoin. So Litecoin started its move, in April. It really started to get bullish, pushing higher and higher. But look what happened look what happened right here. So we had the lowest low in May 3rd, and then it just started to shoot like crazy. We look at Bitcoin in that same time span. Here is May. It started to go right after it went down right here in June and then shot up. If you go back to LTC, USD, you'll see something pretty interesting. It didn't do any of that. It just went straight up pretty much. Right here, it had a little lull and then just shot up. So Litecoin might lead Bitcoin potentially. Something to also take note of. Let's jump into TRX, guys, because I want to talk a little bit about that. Justin Sun is basically like one of the people I don't really like in this industry. Now, I respect him because he's smart, basically made a shite ton of money, but I don't really like the fact that he basically is almost running a gigantic scam. Now, I'm connected to some people at Tron, and one of the managers there, business development managers, told me when Justin had this whole thing happen over the weekend that A, she didn't know about it. Then she told me like, oh, she's always covering for him. She doesn't know if she should quit. He always uses everybody. He doesn't tell anybody about all these crazy marketing things. His life before, when he was a journalist, he was plagiarizing other journals and said he didn't do it. And then he plagiarized his white paper and said he didn't do it. So he's kind of a schemer. Not a really big fan of that. And you know what she also told me? That Justin holds the biggest amount of Tron out of anyone. And, this is where we look at Tron, and he said that, I'm not going to have that meeting. Well, how many days ago was that? That was right around this toppy area over here. He says, I'm not going to have this meeting. Now, if Justin's son shorted, he would have made 20%. And if he had $1 million, he made $200,000 just by saying, I'm not going to have that lunch. Like, almost could basically guarantee that if he had a bunch of crypto on a lot of different things, then there you go. Oh, but he did say sorry. Sure, Steven. He said sorry. You know why he said sorry? Because he's laughing, going, all I have to do is say sorry, and I just made millions of dollars at the expense of other people. And he tricks people, and he does all this stuff, and he's been doing it over and over again. Now, is Justin smart? Yes. Is he someone who's successful? Yes. Is he someone who does it the right way? Abso-freaking-lutely not. That's the problem that I have with it. It's not good for the industry, and many people that are high-level influencers or people working in this industry agree with that sentiment as well. So, TRX, where is it going? We have a bearish TK cross on it. It looks not very good. I mean, a couple fractal levels went up, but in general, it's looking very bearish. There's no real volume here, as you can see. So the volume is really low on the 4-hour, almost all like dojis basically. So that's not a very good look. And since the top, where's the wrong one there? Top to bottom. Let's look at where we might be going. I mean, it's sitting on this 236 Fibonacci. It could go back to that 50% at the bottom of the cloud, but I also think that we're very likely to drop a lot more, at least back down to that level we were at before, and maybe even lower, because people do not like that tactic at all. Okay, so that's what's up with Tron. Let's jump into Litecoin BNB. Oh, that's an interesting one. So Litecoin BNB. All right, Litecoin BNB. All right, so Litecoin BNB is kind of sideways right now. It's kind of in a nice sideways channel on the 4-hour. It did break the top of, it broke out through the Tenkan, but we see that there's rejection at the Kijinsen, and it's flat, and so has the Tenkan as well gone flat. I would wait for a breakout. So you'd be looking for a Kijin breakout that way, or you could see it break down right that way. So I know it's not a really great thing to say, well, it could go either or, but at this point right now, the way it's set up, it could. It definitely could go either or. We have that 50% retrace, as you guys know, as I've told you before, right on that level. And we need to break through it. If we break through that level, of course, we can break into the cloud, and we could potentially do an edge-to-edge over the weekend and get up over there. So that's the area 786 would be a good area to get through. And if we break down and break through the Tenkin, we could definitely get down and test this support, which we see is pretty strong over here at the 0.236, which is usually a good support area. Sorry, did you say any thoughts on EOS? No, I haven't, Travis. I'll definitely throw some in there. Oh, and actually, EOS is on my watch list, so let's just jump right in there as well. Sorry, I just flipped up my thing here. Okay, Bitcoin's going to 10K, then bounce back down to 8,900. Yeah, I agree, Jack. That's exactly what I have on my chart here. This is what I'm looking for right there. So 10K, you have the same sentiments as me. So 10K, 10.1. Then we're gonna bounce back down to this level, and then bounce back up, and then bounce. So that's what we're doing right now, up and down, up and down. So there's nothing wrong with that. Ranging is good. It's good for trading. It's volatility, and we don't mind that at all. All right, so EOS. Let's jump into that. Where did you go? Here we go. All right, so EOS. Here is a beautiful setup, guys. I told someone the other day. Thank you, Tawana. Doing a thing here, sure. Here we have EOS and where I thought was going. So I can actually show you a conversation with my friend Tristan today, who said, oh, I'm going to wait for the break and just throw in the trade. I said, no, don't wait for the break. Don't call it yet. Wait for it to touch the top of the cloud again and then break out, which is exactly what it's doing. Travis, you're actually in the group, so you know that's exactly what I said. And that is that we would see that once we do an edge to edge, if we break above it, we usually test that level. So we broke out. Over here, we closed above, we were moving up, then we tested, now we're moving up further. So there's a couple areas of resistance that we need to get through. Here is one at around 4,995, but we also have a couple areas to look at as well. Let's throw back on that fib extension so I can show you what we're looking at over the weekend. So if we do break out of this area and cross the 50% retrace, we're looking at the 618, which coincides with the 200 EMA. Now, if we break through that, we'd likely go and break through this resistance and go towards the 786. EOS has been very bullish lately, so keep your eyes on that one, especially because you're seeing the Tenkin and Kijun-sen break apart from each other, and the Kijun-sen pushing, the Tenkin-sen pushing up while the Kijun-sen stays down. So it's kind of breaking out a little bit, and if it gets a little bit too high and away from each other, that's when you might want to start thinking about taking profit, okay? So those are the things to look for with EOS. EOS is probably a very good trade once it breaks that 50% retrace, that fractal, which you probably can't see until I zoom in here. This fractal level right here, you want to see it break that on a 4-hour close, and then you're good to go. Okay, now let's look at some of the others that I want to show you this one as well, actually. So here is a perfect example of everything that I've literally just been saying. So take note of this, okay? We have a couple things that show us really, really well what's going to happen. We have extremely bullish Chiku span. We have a TK cross with an engulfing candle into the cloud. And not only is it doing that, we have a Kumo and Tenkin breakout at the exact same time. There is not more of a bullish time than right there that you could have got into this trade. That close of this candle right here, everybody that watches this channel, if you saw it, you should have got into it, okay? Here's what you would have done. You would have set at the bottom of the cloud where you see here, your stop, or actually where the open of the candle was down there. Let's go a little closer. You'd put at the open of that candle right there, and you would basically go for an E to E, an edge to edge trade. I usually put just a little bit below the cloud. And you would have a 6.5 to R on that trade. Easily. Now, if you wanted to have a little bit more, you could have put down at the fractal level, which is right about here, which also would have been fine, or even down there, but that's a little bit too far for me. I would have kept it near this tweezer bottom area. Even then, you're at 2.17. Now, here's what's happening with it right now. We're having also another breakout, which is beautiful, which is called a Kumo breakout. So another really a good opportunity trade right there that you can get into on this breakout. And we're having, not only are we having a Kumo breakout, we're having a breakout of the 200 EMA. Now, here's what you do. You don't buy into this candle. You don't buy the breakout. You buy the retest. So you're going to wait for it to retest the top of that cloud, and then you're going to buy it there, and then you're going to go up. Now, that's not financial advice. I'm going to buy it there. You do whatever you want. But I'm telling you that this is what traders do. They would wait for the retest, not buy after the candle's gone parabolic. You'd wait till it comes up, has its close on the 4 hour and 45 minutes. Wait for it to come back down, touch the top of the cloud, and very likely with how bullish it's been lately with all that volume you can see down here, it's going to go up even more. That's what I'd be looking for, okay? And then if you want to see where you might go, you use that fib extension. So you go to that lowest low on the fractal level here to the highest high we have over here, and you pull it down to this Kijinsen level right there. Now, where are we going to go? If we test this, we're going to either, maybe we'd only even test that 50% retrace area right there and go up more. It all depends. If we get there, it could do something like this and then move up to this one over here. And that would be a very good target for you to look at for your next trade. How to set that one up really easily. Use this tool, your long tool. You would put this here. You would put your stop loss at the bottom of this candle because it's a very big breakout. And you would look to go up to that level right here. And when you look at this, that would be another 3.25R trade. Those types of trades mean that you only have to be 25% right when you call all of your trades and you still make profit every month. You don't even have to be 50% right all the time. You just have to set up your trades properly. Is there a way to follow your charts on TradingView? David, I'm going to start doing that. I haven't been doing that much, but though I'll definitely start making it so that I can publish these for you guys as well. But then you have to write in a whole analysis and stuff. And lately I just haven't had a lot of time because I'm trying to finish my course so you guys can actually do this on your own. And so that's what's coming. But yeah, I'll look to do that. You can find my charts if you guys are on YouTube. I'll type it in. T.me, Athena Education. I do post them sometimes into there. And obviously our VIP trading group is also available. And you guys come into our VIPs and you can get in there. We also do things like free trading competitions, which have paid prizes. I just gave out prizes for our last competition that I ran. And it amounted to about $1,800 or so. And I have another trading competition starting today, which is another $1,750 in prize money. Plus, I actually give you some BNB to trade. So that's pretty cool. So definitely join our community because it's a lot of fun. So when BTC starts moving again, will alts fall as hard as they did before? Well, it's hard to say that for sure, but here's what's interesting, okay? I just can't see how many of these alts can survive. All right, good question. Some of the alts are going to die. I'm sure of it, okay? Now, when Bitcoin keeps going up, right now, if it pumps up a little bit, it ranges up and down like I've shown you, that's okay. That's a good thing. That means alts will not really falter too much against BTC over the next little while, and we'll have a little bit of an alt season, maybe a long alt season. We'll have to wait and see, okay? But what's really interesting about all the stuff with alt season and things is some of the big alts that have really good projects and real use cases are going to do really well, and some of the ones are not going to do so well. What's happening with gold bars? That's a good question, Alta. I don't think we can check is it carrot bars or gold bars that you're asking? Because there's so many gold-backed cryptocurrencies, and I don't really believe in some of them, especially carrot bars. It feels like a super big MLM. But I haven't been looking into it, so I'll look into that over the weekend, Alta, and I'll try to get information. But what you can do for me is tell me which project, send me a link, and I will look into it for you happily. Okay? So altcoins. Now let's look at a couple others that I have been eyeing. One of them is RLC. Another one that pulled an edge to edge. Metal I've shown you guys. QLC. Here we go. Another really good opportunity trade. We have the Chiku span bullish. Here's why I have my alert right there, okay? My alert's right here because what am I waiting for? The test of the bottom of the Kumo cloud. So we broke into the Kumo break. Test the bottom of the Kumo, and then what I'm expecting with this one is it hits there and it drops and dries up to there. So QLC, another one you should keep your eyes on. It's a potential really nice trade to get in. If you got in there, you would put your stop loss at around the Kijinsen, and you'd be looking, hold on a second here, you'd be looking for this move up to there, which is another 5R trade. These are beautiful, guys. Beautiful. And if you want, put it a little bit lower at the fractal level down here so that you have some space just in case it drops. But generally, if it goes into the cloud, it tests the bottom of the cloud like it's about to just set off my alarm in a second. It would test that bottom of the cloud. If it closes around that area and the next candle will start to move up, that's when I'll jump into that trade. And yeah, you can put it right at this level over here. And yeah, you're still at a 3.7. And even if you want to leave a little bit more leeway, you're still at a 3R ratio. perfect trades to get in. These are great examples of ones you should look at. Ren, I actually got in. That was a great one, Jellums. So Ren has been really bullish lately, and you're looking for a Ren entry point. So let me jump in on that. Also, do tell me which gold bars you're talking about. Put the link in the comments down there. If you guys aren't watching on YouTube, please join us on YouTube. I'm going to actually go on here and share that link for you guys so that you can jump on, so you can comment on there so I can make sure you guys win. Here's another trade that I've noticed. So we broke in here into the cloud with the Rec. Rec's kind of been like sideways, so I haven't been really bullish on it, and I would like to see this be a more bullish engulfing candle. So I'd be waiting to see where it goes, but it broke in, it's broke out. It might test the bottom of this cloud. I'm not in this trade yet, but it's a potential 2.6R trade. Very good. We have the Chiku span bullish. We do, but at the same time as it's bullish, I'd like to see it a little bit higher, at least to this level where it's the top of this candlestick. So I'd like to see this needs to kind of move more. So more of a risky trade if you're going to get into Rec, but it's one that you could have a nice return on as well. Now, another one, and then I'll get to Ren, is Doc. Doc's been really sideways, but it does have these nice pumps that it does every now and then. Here's an edge to edge that it did over there. And here's where you see how I always tell you guys it goes to Kijin and it bounces off that if it's bearish. So it's been kind of there, but then we have this Kijinsen break. So I'm looking for a bullish engulfing candle right there, and then again another edge to edge. This one would be not too big. I wouldn't be looking to enter too high, but we'd be looking something around. I think this would be like a 1.5R type of trade, where we'd be looking just to get around there. So not a crazy good trade, but something that would be nice. 1.5R is good. If you only have 33% of your trades hit, you make profit. Always know the mathematics behind your trades. It's important. Ren. Let's get on it. Okay, so Ren. Yeah, it's been super bullish. I love it, but I would expect this. Okay, I'm going to show you something about how this works. Let's look on the daily just to make sure that I'm right. Okay, here's something you want to look at, all right? Look how far away we are from the Kijinsen. Okay, we're at this level where we are at 31% away from the Kijinsen. What is going to likely happen with Ren? We're going to get pulled back to the Kijinsen. What happened the last time it broke out this high above it? Look at the difference in price. Look, we went down 37%. We came all the way back down and we almost touched the top of the cloud. So from the top to the bottom, we literally went down almost 50%. And from the bottom to the top, we went up 126%. Do you really want to get into this after only 2 weeks? Not even right now? Probably not. It's a really, really high risk trade to get in right now. And you're looking at potentially it correcting at least to 36%, but maybe even to the top of this cloud over here. So 40%. I would say that until you see this Tenkin kind of come up, it's a really high risk trade to get into Ren right now. It's kind of done its course. It could go more for sure, but you do have a high risk on that one. Now, if it does come on the 4 hour down to this level, that wouldn't be too bad. It might bounce off the Tenkin as it has here, and almost there. So I would look for it to at least touch down on this level. So your entry should be around 1180, something like that. APPC and ENG, did I talk about them? APPC I did. ENG I will happily talk about that. But yes, we do see that we're trying to come back there on Ren. And now let's look at ENG, BTC as well, to see where that's going. So ENG's kind of had to move up into the cloud. It looks like it wants to come back and pull back a bit right now. So we'll have to kind of keep an eye on it. As you see, usually ENG, like a lot of other coins, don't really have too big of a lull in between. But this might have just been like a breather right here because it's 4 hour chart. But we did have 3 black soldiers right there. That's not usually a very bullish pattern. I would be looking for this to actually turn into a bullish engulfing candle in the next 35 minutes before I would enter this trade at all. Or it'd be a 3 inside up, which means that our next candle would be above this level right there. Something like, something like this, where we would see the next candle close above here, having a 3 inside up pattern and continuation on up. So that's what you'd be looking for if you're looking at ENG right now. It is a really cool platform with secret smart contracts that are pretty awesome. I didn't know you've traded with Solve/BTC pair on Bittrex. They recently partnered with Uber and Lyft. That's one to watch. Yeah, I looked at Solve before actually. It's also on the Binance Dex, I believe. So, and here's another thing. News doesn't always push crypto. Crypto usually is moved on based off of, not just partnerships, but also on actual TA. And there's nothing really here. I mean, that was probably that announcement right there. And I haven't seen really that much yet. It's not really an uptrend. We're in a ranging market here. We're kind of ranging between these fractal levels. So we have to wait to see a couple things. We do have a bullish TK cross here, but it's angling down, and we might have a bearish TK cross. If this somehow turned back up, we had a nice huge bullish engulfing into this, that would look good. But remember, this cloud is so big because of this one candle. Keep that in mind when you're doing your TA, that if you have a huge candle over here, it will make the cloud huge. So here's another huge candle right there. It makes the cloud very, very big. So keep that in mind when you're looking at the Ichimoku cloud as something to do an edge to edge. All right, AST is another one I've been looking at. It's testing, and we got a tweezer bottom right there, and I'm looking for it to break 435 on a bullish engulfing. So I want to see that really powerfully go through, or have, like I just said, a 3 inside up where it breaks through and does something like this. Hold on a second. Doesn't like me right now. Okay. We going closer. So I'd be looking for this candlestick right here to be bigger. Alright, it's kind of hard to draw a fake candlestick, I guess. But that's what I'll be looking for right now is the third candle to be higher, break through this level, and then I would call that trade and look to get in. But another thing you have to look at is the cloud is getting smaller. We might have a positive Kumo twist to be positive, which is good, but the angling down of the Chiku span and stuff doesn't make me super bullish on it right now. Ron, with all your chart technical knowledge, do you dabble in options or even stocks, or is it not that simple to jump through? It is. Ron, everything that I do here, you can do with Forex, with stocks, with gold. All of it's the same. Technical analysis is technical analysis. There's no real difference. So I know people will tell you that TA doesn't work in crypto, but I'm telling you right now, not doing TA doesn't work in crypto. It will wreck you super badly. I do use algos as well sometimes, so those also help me kind of see which coins I should be looking at on the shorter time span, and then I look on a larger time span to see if they're actually following that. But generally, yes, they work in stocks. I'll show you GXS, and I'll show you some examples of how this also works. The only difference is your Ichimoku cloud settings when you're using them in crypto are 20, 60, 30, and 20, 60, 120, and 30. Sorry, this is backwards because it's not a traditional one. So let's look at this. 20, 60, 120, and 30. And in traditional, we use, can't remember off the top of my head. Let me just add that. Let me just add the other Ichimoku cloud. And I'll show you what the traditional Ichimoku usually is. The traditional Ichimoku is 9, 26, 52, and 26 because of the time periods. We in crypto, we don't have closes and openings. We just 24 hours, 365. So this has been back tested by many people, and it works really, really well. So you can do options and all the other types of trading. I just focus on crypto right now because it's a lot more exciting than the other markets, to be completely honest. You have a lot more fun in crypto, that's for sure. It just moves a lot more, Stocks and stuff that can move like 30%. Like, I'll give you an example. If we go to Amazon, and Amazon moves a lot, right? Of course it does. But watch. Oh, wait, this is the wrong Amazon. Hold on. There we go. So if we look at Amazon, right? It moves up. Like, you're like, wow, that's moved up a lot. But look at this. I showed you LERN. That went up 120%. This is over 45 days, went up 20%. So, I mean, it is more stable, but not as much fun to trade. Personally, for me, I like trading Bitcoin and other altcoins and cryptocurrencies. Have I traded stocks in the past? Absolutely. And you can use this for gold and everything else. But as you can see, this doesn't really work unless we use the traditional Ichimoku clouds because they open and close. So if I open this cloud and turn this one off, you'll see that it follows the Kijun-sen really nicely. And I'll make this a little bit brighter for you to see. But you'll see what I'm talking about. So, converging lines, just make that green, and then let's make this one red. And bigger. So we can see the Kijun-sen right here. we pull back to the Kijinsen. It's all the same. There's no real big difference trading one market to the other. Technical analysis is all the same. So it's good to know that. I just wanted to point that out for you so you have an idea of that, yes, I can trade traditional assets, no problem. I just generally don't because I don't find the need to. Here's another one I've looked at as well. So we bounced off the Tenkan 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and instead of going down, we've gone up. So I'm looking for that to break out here. Another trade, which could be 3.9R. Really profitable. We're looking at a 16% gain on that trade for Hypercash. I'll go over the last couple that I have here. Myth is about to hit my go into this trade area, and almost feel like I missed it, but I definitely didn't because it went sideways and I didn't feel comfortable yet. This is why you put it a little bit below the cloud or at the Kijinsen when you're making your trades. Because if I put it right here, I might have stopped out at the bottom of the cloud. So you put it at the Kijinsen or a little bit below, and you let that trade ride out. And if you're wrong, it's okay. Because if you're wrong and you're using the right R here, so let's say I put it in, I'll give you an example. Let's say I put it on this bullish engulfing candle right there, and I was wrong. Okay, so if I'm wrong, but I'm versus when I'm right, and I'm 1.82, I can be wrong a lot of times for every time that I'm right. It's all about that. It's all about having the right balance. What length are you using for your EMA? This is a 200 EMA. You can use, I use multiple. Sometimes I use QEMA. I have several different templates that I use. Day trading, indicating, ANN, BB, RSI, MACD, Super Trade. I use various different kinds. And I've tried many other strategies and stuff like that to find what my niche is. And I really highly suggest that you guys do the same. Even if you learn everything that I know, you'll probably do little tweaks and things differently so that you can benefit yourself and so on. So that's something also to take note of. ENJ is a really interesting one. I'm looking at it. It's got that bounce off the bottom of the cloud. It really didn't have a big, strong bullish engulfing here. So I've been waiting for this one to break out. It does have a Chiku span bullish and a TK cross. OAX had a really nice bullish engulfing into the cloud. We see that the Chiku span is bullish. We have a nice look here. I would look for it to maybe test the bottom of the cloud before getting in, but it is another really high, really awesome trade that you can get in, and very good R on this one if it does work out. So you put a little bit below the cloud, you put this up to here, and you have a 3R trade. Another really good one. So these are the things I look for. Not really like ins and outs most of the time. I look for more of these like hold it for a few days or a week, maybe 10 days, get 3R, have 10 of those trades open even at the same time. Even if 3 of those hit, you still make money even if the other ones don't. This is really the idea behind it all. XRP, yes, I will definitely get to that, Clayton. Let's look at XRP first with BTC, and then let's look at it against the US dollar. So XRP BTC, I would have gotten right there. That would have been a perfect entry point for me if I had noticed it. Didn't notice it, and that's okay. So you would have got in there. It did come down, but that was okay. We're our stop loss. So remember, placing your stop is really important to not getting stopped out of trades that will be profitable. Okay, so a little bit below the cloud or below the Kijinsen, right? So here it's too close, so I put it a little bit below the cloud or at the fractal level, which is right down here where this, where the Tenkan is right there. So that's a good place to put it. And then how much are we going up? Well, we would have looked to try to get toward the top of the cloud. It may not get all the way to the top. We would have looked for that, and it's a 4.5R trade. A great one. Even if you had said, okay, well, maybe I'm going to go halfway between because it looks like, this was a big pump, which it was. We can look at that and go, okay, let's go halfway, and even you're still at 2.7, which is a great trade. So XRP, if that stays bullish, and we're going to end that candle probably bullish on the 4-hour, I would look for that to continue up. Would you get in now in the trade? I wouldn't probably get in that trade now because you're looking at not a really good risk reward. It's 1.5. You could get in, but remember, the cloud has, it's basically not there anymore. So you're not really looking for that big edge to edge trade. And we only have like how many periods? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we start 7, 8. So this is 4 hours. So in the next 2 days, it would have to really pump. So I wouldn't get into this trade for XRP, but XRP has looked good, and we did get in. My guys and I got in around when it started to break out over here. So that was a little bit more of a higher probability trade, even though we're looking only for 5% on that one. That's okay. All right, I'm just going to show you a couple more, some gems that you want to look at. One of them is this one. Now, a lot of you are probably like, what? VeChain, it's down so much. Why would you want it? I'm going to tell you why. VeChain has a ton of partnerships and a ton of really good things going for it. It's basically bottomed out, and it's starting to show a little bit of an uptrend here. We just broke through the Tenkan-Ashi on the Tenkan-sen on our daily chart, and we're looking to now move towards the bottom of the cloud or the Kijun-sen. They might actually meet at the same time by the time if it keeps moving up. We have volume. Why is that a big deal? Well, we're looking again for it to cross the 200 EMA. If it does that on the daily, and we get above here, we could see VeChain finally start to have some legs. And this is one of those gems that could be a 8-9xer from where it is right now, because it has real adoption around it. And it has a ton of actual people and things that have gone around. It has a ton of actual adoption and partnerships and transactions that are really happening on their network. So it's something to look at. Another gem to look at and have in your area is this one. Basic Attention Token. Right now, what do you see here? I'll show you. We have a triple bottom that has formed. Here's one. Right? One. Oh, sorry. We have two. And we have three. Triple bottom. We've also seen it go to its all-time high, and we've also seen it drop all the way down to here. It dropped nearly 80% from the all-time high. Now, that tells me a couple things, and what it means is that when this one comes, and we know there's adoption of it, Basic Attention Token, because so many people use Brave Browser, and it's going to pay you, and there are things they need to improve. But overall, I think Brave Browser is a really good one. This is one of those gems as well that if you pick up some slowly over time, I do believe that we're going to get back to that all-time high, maybe by the end of the year. Now, you're probably like, well, how much is that benefiting me? Well, let's just have a look at when you go the other way. If we go back to all-time high, I get 3x, and I wouldn't put it past Basic Attention Token to do that. It's a very good gem to have in your portfolio. Something that I would be personally looking at myself, and I am personally looking at what I'm telling you to keep in your portfolio for later. It's using VET blockchain, not the token. What impact will have on the price? Okay, so VeChain eventually is going to make, every time you use their chain, blah, I can't remember the name right now. My brain has just farted. Oh my God, Chainlink. Oh God, doesn't matter. Every time you go from each step, like it's been a long day, so I can't remember. And I know this one, and it's just like right on my head. But every time you go from step to step, right? So you go from the factory to here to next one, they're gonna have to sign that signature. That's gonna need to use VeChain's tokens. So they're gonna have it in their adoption. You're gonna need to use it. Are you gonna leave this video? What do you mean? So what do you think about VWAP bands? Isn't it the same? Are you going to leave this video? What do you mean by that, Nazim? Am I going to leave the video? Just curious. So are you going to leave this video? VWAP change. Okay, so VWAP bands, I don't use them personally. I don't need to. I find that this works just fine for me the way it is. And if it works for you, use them. A lot of people do that I know. I just use my own trading style, and I find that it makes the most sense for me. And so I don't add in more things to it, because this is really all I need, honestly. I could use them, and I do sometimes, but I don't need them. And I don't need to confuse everybody on the screen either. That's also important. All right. So that's basically it. That's what I got to say. VeThor is also, yes, something that you can use. Oh, sorry, it's right. VeThor is also what they're going to use to power their blockchain. Will the token be worth anything in the future? I do believe so, Lily. It's a good question. But it's like saying Theta token won't be worth anything because they have T-Fuel. They have different functionality within the blockchains. And, you have to use the token to do things on their blockchain, right? So to pay for to pay for stamps on the blockchain. Remember, blockchain, the way it works is when you have an immutable blockchain, you have to have this, will I delete it, Nazim? No, I will not delete the video. You'll be able to look at it. Go onto YouTube. If you haven't, join and subscribe. You'll see all the videos. Absolutely. And I'll finish with Neo as well. And Neo has gas, and that doesn't mean Neo is going to be worthless either. So just because it has a gas doesn't mean anything. But this is also why I'm really bullish on UND, Unification, because even though they're a super small project, they have really good leadership, and they have real adoption, and they have real people who've signed to work with them and use their side chains. And that side chain to stamp to the main chain will use UND, and it will have staking, which are really cool setup. So Neo, let's go on the 4 hour because the daily can be sometimes show us different things. But this is why we use multiple time frame analysis. On the 4 hour, you could kind of get tricked in thinking that it's bullish right now, but it's not. I mean, we're still in this downtrend on Neo, right? We're not really uptrending yet. It kind of had a nice little bump right here. It looked like it was, but we're now in a downtrend on Neo. So keep that in mind. But if we go on the 4 hour, our secondary, we can see that it is having some bump right here. So if you look at right on this level, we see that we're starting to have a little bit of an uptrend. And then we see that we've broken into the cloud. But here's what I don't like about it. Right here, you see that we have a bearish. This is a bearish. Right here, let me just point at it. We have a bearish TK cross, which usually means we're going to go down. That doesn't mean for sure that will happen. But I don't usually like that, and the candlesticks haven't really been really bullish, you know. But here's another thing. When we have a lot of candles that are doing this, where bears are trying to push it down and it ends up closing up, push it down, close up, push it down, close up, push it down, close up, we could see it continue on up, but I'd like to see it break this fractal level. So you should be looking at seeing if it breaks this level right here, which I would look to see is right there, which is a 1129, 0.001129. If it breaks bullishly above that level, we could see it go towards this 200 EMA, which is coinciding with the top of the cloud. So that's what I'd see for Neo. You can watch it on my YouTube channel. Absolutely, you can. Definitely do, guys. Watch the YouTube channel. I want you guys to comment on this video so that I can give you guys some free stuff for commenting. So the way to help me out for helping you guys with teaching you all about crypto is this. 1, subscribe to the video. 2, smash up some likes, and 3, comment. That's what the YouTube algorithm wants. That's what will help me and also will help you because I'll continue doing videos all the time and you'll see them. And so that's really my goal, is to give you guys more of what you want. And ask questions in the comments if you are not watching this live. And make sure that you get in as much comments and things that you want. And I will take all those comments and we'll do draws for free, either free tokens or a free month using our trading system, access to our group, etc. So that's basically it, guys. Do watch. We only have 15 minutes for that 4 hour close. I'm looking at nulls right now and thinking, yeah, I'm about to enter nulls right now. And I'm putting in this trade. So I'm putting in this trade in 15 minutes. If we stay above where we're at right here, above this crossing line, I am definitely going to put in that trade. We have a bullish Chiku span. Even though it's not super bullish, it's still angling up, which is good for me. And we also have the Kijin angling up, the Tenkan angling up, and a bullish TK cross, as well as a bullish engulfing candle. So I would be right at the end of this video, and I'll be waiting 15 minutes and throwing in a trade onto nulls. I'm also going to look at QLC right now. That one looks like it's going to close. It has almost touched to close. Wait for this candle, the next one, to be green and have as much power as these ones, and I would go into that one as well. The next one I'm looking at is REC. REC is not super bullish yet. I would maybe avoid REC for right now, even though it looks like it could do well. I don't like taking high risk trades. Here is a beautiful one. I literally talked about this 10 minutes ago, touching and breaking out. It is basically doing a Kumo retest and breakout right now. We're looking to break through the 200 EMA and then going towards 0.786 on EOS. Phantom, similar. Wow, is it ever gone? Look at that. Whew. Look at that beautiful, beautiful candle. When I drew it, it was right here. So we're all the way up here now. So if we go down like that, we may not even touch the top of the Kumo cloud. We could even go here, but expect for us to touch the top of that Kumo cloud And I wouldn't risk it after this candle to go in unless it does pretty much touch the top of that cloud over the next few hours, or at least down to the 50% retrace level over there. Okay, so that's what for Frank the Phantom. HC, another one I'm about to probably go into on the close of this candle. It looks good. We have a 3 inside up. If you don't know what a 3 inside up is, it's one of the most bullish types of patterns you can have in crypto or any other charting pattern. When you have one bearish candle and 2 candles and the third closes above the first one, that is a very good indication to enter as well. But we have a bullish TK cross as well as Chiku span that is bullish and moving up more. I'm going to go into that one as well. So there's two. There's 2, guys. And then Myth, another one that's about to, it's already kind of broken through. So if I put that trade in when I wanted to, we would have been already good. But I think I'll still enter this trade potentially. I'm going to watch that one a little bit more now that I've kind of missed the entry point for that one. ENJ, keep your eyes on it. It's doing that retest right now. I would look to see a push above this on the next candle to enter. So keep your eyes on that in the next 4 hours to 8 hours. And we do have a really nice movement on OAX. It's going to close there. I might enter that one because the risk to reward ratio on this is very, very good. It's at 3.7. And then DNT. VeChain is those 2 gems, but DNT also, but we have to wait for that TK cross to be positive. So everything else looks good on it, but I would like to see the Tenkan Sen break above the Kijinsen, and then I would enter that trade as well. So those are what I'm looking at right now. I hope you guys have a great weekend. It's Friday, so have yourselves a great day. Do subscribe, like, and share this video to anyone you want to, and comment on the channel on YouTube. It will help me, and I can help you guys with your questions that you have. See you guys later. Coach K signing out. Have yourselves an awesome weekend. See you on Monday as well. Don't forget.